Okay, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mangg. Welcome back to Mangg Plays the Best Games of All Time. Got a real classic here. So this is Lemmings, originally for the Amiga and then ported to everything else under the sun. We are playing on the Amiga version, so this is the OG. There it is, Lemmings. So this is a game that was designed by a company called DMA Design, who you probably know better as Rockstar North. um, yeah, so this wasn't their first game, but this was their first big game, and it was published by Psygnosis in 1991 for the Amiga, and it is a puzzle strategy game, or a puzzle game, however you want to do it. Um, yeah, I mean, we're going to get into how it plays if you've never seen Lemmings before. But, yeah, it basically is just a series of levels. I think 30? Not really sure how many is in this original version. And each is sort of progressively harder than the last, forces you to utilize different techniques and things like that in order to figure them out. And yeah, I mean, it's super popular. It's definitely waned in popularity, I think. There hasn't really been too many recent Lemmings games. The the one that I had as a kid, actually, I don't even know if I had it as a kid. I just remember playing it. So maybe I just emulated it and I played it quite a bit. But that was Lemmings 2 Tribes for the SNES. Lemmings 2 The Tribes. And the SNES is probably not the best way to play Lemmings either way, because you probably want a mouse. But that's what I had, I guess. I must have thought that was the only way to play Lemmings. So Lemmings 2 was pretty cool. There was a lot more levels, a lot more skill. Like, it was just more of everything. But yeah. Pretty much that's all we need to say about Lemmy. It's best to just get into it and play. So let's do it. One player. Just dig. We need to save 10% of our lemmings, of which we are going to have 10. So all we need to do is save one of them. And we have 5 minutes to do it. So this is, yeah, the basic structure of every stage. Is you're going to have a certain number of lemmings to mess around with. You have to save a certain number of them within a time limit. And all your lemmings are going to pop out one by one, or so. Sometimes it's very fast. From a spot on the map, out of this, like, trap door. And you need to get them to the exit door. In this case, that's in the lower right. And you have to use the skills that they give you in order to do it. Because the lemmings just move back and forth. You know, they move in a direction until they hit something, and then they turn around. If they fall from a big height, they can die. And your only way to really control them is by utilizing these abilities at the bottom of the screen. So this, what they give you, of how many and of what type, that depends on the stage. So for this one, we're given 10 of these diggers. So if we select that and select a lemming, they will immediately start doing that action. In this case, it's digging. So they'll just start digging down. Not forever. It only has a certain time that they'll do it. But now they've created a hole. They can survive falls from that height, no problem. And then they just keep walking until they make it to the exit. And we're going to get 100% because I don't know how you would not on the first stage here. There you go. First stage completed. Second stage. Level 2. Only floaters can survive this. We're going to have 10 again. We need to save at least 1. 5 minutes to do it. Alright, so this one's a little trickier. Because for this one, they're going to fall to their death. Unless I give them this floating skill. So we have to just click on them. So just imagine doing this with like a D-pad as the cursor. And here it's not so bad because you can just position it and then press the button as they come. But yeah, for later stages, there's some time crunches and you're going to have to move around. And it's just, a mouse is so much better. Alright, so there you go. 100%. They floated down. We're all good. Third stage, tailor-made for blockers. We're going to have 50 lemmings this time. Still 10%. So we need to save at least 5. So now we have these blockers. So you post this guy up, and he just forms a wall, and they will bounce off. And that's it. He'll do that, I think, permanently. So if we just do this. Okay, and we're going to need one more. There we go. Now we can increase this. That'll increase the rate at which they come out. In some versions, maybe it's just Lemmings 2 they added this, I'm not sure, but you can actually speed up the game. So that it would just quickly end. But so there you go. Delightful, I know. Alright, then you have 5 left standing there blocking nothing. So your only option there is to press the nuke button. Yes, it's wonderful. Alright, got 90%. Not sure how you could get higher than that. Alright, level 4. Now use miners and climbers. So we need to save every single one of our 10. Alright, so we've got 2 abilities now, mining and climbing. So, mining is gonna mine downwards at an angle, unlike the digger. So there you go. And now, climbing is pretty much exactly what it is. If they have that ability activated, they will just climb the next wall they encounter. So this is another one where once they approach, we just slap it on and away they go. So, yeah, I mean, it's just sort of like simple concepts, but addictive and, like, progressively more difficult. You'll need bashers this time. So, 50 lemmings, gotta save 5. Now this is the first scrolling level, where the whole thing is not shown on screen. There you go. Alright, good. Alright, so yeah, here. Just gotta bash through. That should pretty much do us. So let's make sure we crank this up. Get all them out. And then we wish we had a fast forward. I mean, there aren't many puzzle games on this list. Let's just say that. While we have a moment here, let me just check. Just searching puzzle, right? We've got Tetris from '84, Lemmings, Portal, and Braid. Angry Birds, oh god. And Portal 2. So 2 Portal games, a mobile game, and Braid, which is sort of a puzzle platformer. So yeah, actually, there's only 3 actual pure puzzle games instead of puzzle platformers. And one of those is Angry Birds, so however much you want to count that. So yeah, there's Tetris, which is not really a puzzle game. I never think of it as a puzzle game, because you're not really solving a puzzle. I mean, in a way, but not really. It's weird, right? So, yeah, I mean, bottom line, puzzle is not a heavily represented category. So yeah, Lemmings is on here. Task for blockers and bombers, 20%. Alright. That was way too late. That's bad. Needs to be like there. Got him. Easy. I'm not sure why you really need the blocker. I must not quite understand that. What would you need the blocker for? Well, either way. So I guess the question we ask is Lemmings one of the best puzzle games of all time? Probably? Unless you think it's worse than Lemmings 2, which is not on the list. Alright, here we have builders. Whoops. So they just lay down blocks, building like a diagonal staircase. A little short there. Well, the real beauty is in later levels and later difficulties and things like that, where you start to be able to think outside of the box. There we go. Good. So you start to be able to just... I mean, these stages so far, they've all been very clear. You have, like, one ability. You're meant to use that one ability this way in order to pass. Later stages, though, get very wild, and you have to come up with some curious solutions. I mean, I remember doing some very wonky shit with, like, builders and bombers, and yeah, I mean, it gets wild. So I'd like to get to some of the tougher stages, just so we can see how interesting the game can get. As we sit here. The fast forward feature is good. Whatever version or game added that, that was a good decision. Level 8, not as complicated as it looks. We have to save all but 5 of our pals. Yeah, and that's it. They built this whole complicated thing, but that's all you have to do. Here we go. So I guess another question would be, does the Lemmings hold up? And yeah, absolutely it does. I mean, it's a solid system. You know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Sure, graphically it's nothing stellar or anything like that. And yeah, we need a fast forward. Again, I'd have to look at what version of that. And if it's only in Lemmings 2, then Lemmings 2 probably is the better game, but I'm not going to split hairs. Either way, 1 or 2, one of the best games of all time. Sure. Alright, as long as you try your best. Have to save all but 10. So we need the, oh shit. Oh shit. Alright, we lost a couple there. But we're good. We're still good. See, that's what I'm saying, with like a D-pad. It gets a little dicey. You want to have that mouse control. So, if you're gonna play Lemmings, just play a version with mouse control. Don't play it on the Super Nintendo. Alright, there we go. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Lemmings could make a big comeback. On Steam, as long as they don't make it look like, you know, 3D or some bullshit. Just make it look good, nice, sprite work. Nothing too fancy, and then just add, like, workshop support with level editors. I mean, it seems like it could be fine. Maybe that already exists. I don't know. Smile if you love Lemmings. 20 Lemmings, gotta save 10. He's gonna step over that. Fuck. Oh, shit. Okay. We're not getting 100% here. We could have put the blocker at the top. But here we are. Whew. Okay. Problem solved. Only lost 1. Well, 2, technically. I don't know how you'd get out of there without using a blocker, though. Keep your hair on, Mr. Lemming. 60 Lemmings, we have to save 83% of them. Alright. So for this one, we just need a lot of fucking builders. This is one of those, like, time-consuming ones, I think. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you can do this without spending too much time on it, but... How did he actually build that way? How did I get him to turn? cool, but... I don't think I'll be able to do that, like, accidentally again. No, so we're going to want to employ a blocker here. Otherwise, fall damage could be getting a little dicey. That was a little soon. I guess we're going to see about fall damage on the other side. That might be okay. Well, we're going to find out now. Oh, I still need another blocker there. Oh. That's a no-go. Curious. You're not going to save... I'm not sure then. What is this one? Oh, that's bashing. Yeah. So they can't bash through here. And... I mean, they can't do anything here, really. They can climb it. A little bit, not really. Maybe I can explode it. That was a little... No, that's even worse. Still worse. It's not gonna work. Shit. If you can't bash your way through, there's no way... Oh, I guess you could go under it. Why didn't I just do that? Alright, let's start over. Why wouldn't I just go under it? Oh, I guess the question is, how do you... Oh, maybe I have to just dig down a little bit with this. Oh, you can't dig down? Really? But you can explode down. I mean, maybe with enough explosions. How did I get through part of it, then? I have actually no idea with this one. Alright, well, let's just look up a solution then, because I want to show you. What was this? Stage 8, maybe? No? Well, this is fun level. I mean, there's different difficulties. What sort of fucking version is this? No, not that. No, we're definitely way past stage 8. This is stage 11. Turn 2 lemmings into both climbers and floaters, also known as an athlete. After they've both climbed and ascended the obstruction, have the first one become a blocker to keep the second from reaching the exit. After it turns around, makes the second bash through to the others. Aha! Or, make one athlete, have it build over the exit, then bash the obstruction and dig or bash the stairs. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. Because you can't have it go in. Interesting. Alright, so... they're all jumbled. That one's gonna fall to its death. Gonna have multiples be falling to their death. Alright, rather than risking more... Oh, no, it needed to build over... I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. There you go. Because you can bash this through this thing, but you have to do it from the right side to the left. That's not good. Why are you still climbing? Well, then it should still have floating. This is a really tedious way to do it. Yeah, okay. Oh my god. Alright, well, you get the idea. You know. You know what would all happen here. That's just annoying. Beautiful. Yeah, so that's Lemmings. Yeah, I'd probably say one of the best games of all time. I mean, we didn't spend like an hour on it or anything like that. And it could be that the Amiga isn't the best version. It could be that Lemmings 2 is maybe the better one, but like I said, either way, um, both fantastic games, and one of them at least probably deserves to be on the list. Still holds up pretty well. Um, oh, I see. So Sony acquired Psygnosis in '93, so they got the rights to Lemmings. Sony licensed the rights to Exient Entertainment, a fucking mobile developer. So, yeah, it just is on mobile now, and we're never gonna get like an epic, great version on Steam at that rate. Let me just search Lemmings on Steam real quick. Crazy Lemmings, which is sort of a ripoff. Yeah, looks like, I don't know, a really shit. It looks like a mobile ripoff. Planning to come out September 2020. Planned release date September 2022. But the release date here says it came out September 10th, 2020. I don't know what to think. Actually, it doesn't really sound like. I mean, it. I don't know. I don't know if it's a ripoff. But anyways, the point is, there's no great Lemmings game on Steam. Fuck you, Sony. All right. Well, you always have the original Lemmings. Is there like a? It's odd. There's no like open Lemmings or free Lemmings. You know, so, like a bunch of older games have things like that where it's like community ran where they keep it going. Well, I guess that maybe there is. Neo Lemmix? Maybe? Yeah. Okay, I guess there is. It just doesn't seem like there's one central thing. Because there's Neo Lemmix, Licks, Super Lemony, Lemony, and there's forums where they share custom levels and stuff. It's not super widespread. It's not super popular here. But there's still people loving some Lemmings. Yeah, I mean, I would probably say Lemmings 2 is the better game personally. But, yeah, I don't mind. if Lemmings is listed as the best, one of the best games of all time. There you have it. Oh yeah, I was gonna start this video by talking about it. If you've actually managed to make it this far, I should have really started the video with it. But even then, it is what it is. So I skipped two games in 1991, and yeah, that's the only games I'm skipping in 91. Those two games are pretty big. Skip them just because I've done like Let's Plays of them both and blah blah blah. Final Fantasy IV and Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. I skipped Link to the Past because I do think that it's one of the best games of all time. I don't think there's a lot of arguments there. Um, Probably the best 2D Zelda, which means the best Zelda. Um, I like Minish Cap, but probably not quite as much. Beyond that, there isn't really any. I mean, Link Between Worlds is pretty good, but it's basically just more Link to the Past. I did not play the new Link's Awakening, so maybe that is, but I don't think that's going to be better than Link to the Past. Yeah, it's nostalgia talking probably a little bit, but it's an all-time classic, no doubt. Final Fantasy IV. I'm going to go ahead and say not one of the best games of all time. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say, really. If you asked me my top 1,000 games, yeah, Final Fantasy IV would probably be in there. But I don't know. The question we usually ask here is, what does it do better than any other game in the series? I don't know. I don't know what Final Fantasy IV does better than any other game in the series. Super important game. I mean, if you recall when I did my whole series playthrough of Final Fantasy, jumping from 3 to 4 was like fucking awesome. Um, but in the grand scheme of things, in the whole history of things, it's just fine. I mean, it's like a fine game, but it's on a console that's just filled with great RPGs. And the gameplay of Final Fantasy IV is just nothing that special. And yeah, the story of Final Fantasy IV blows 1, 2, and 3 out of the water, but then, you've got 6 and 7 and 9 and 10 and um 14. And then, even on the SNES, you've got Chrono Trigger, you've got Final Fantasy VI, you've got Breath of Fire 2. And it's like, I don't know. Final Fantasy IV, it's good, but I don't think so. I don't think one of the best games of all time. But it's sort of just my opinion. I asked Lego like a few days ago if he thinks Final Fantasy IV is one of the best games of all time, and he said yes right away. Now, he's a big fan of that game, but I mean, that's nostalgia talking. But I mean, he places more emphasis on story than I do. I place Final Fantasy V much higher than 4 on my list. Much, much higher. Because 4 doesn't really have that incredible of gameplay for a turn-based RPG, whereas 5 is awesome. Um, but the story of 5 is pretty shit, even compared to 4. So I don't know. I mean, there's debate there. Clearly enough people think that it's one of the best games of all time that it's here. Um, and it still holds up. I mean, it's still playable. It's perfectly playable. I mean, it's a fine game. Um, but I don't know. It's just outclassed by so many other games in its own series that it's hard for me to consider it compared to Link to the Past, which is basically the best. Uh, yeah. So I mean, that one is a bit more debatable for sure, but That's how I'm leaning. But that'll do us. That'll do us for Lemmings. My name is Mangg. This has been Mangg Plays the Best Games of All Time with Lemmings. I'll see you fine folks next time.